Namaste, soul family. Now, though I, mentioned in the previous, lengthy video prior to this one that I didn't want to, make any more videos for the remainder of you know, the day. As I said, Aquarius, North Node, Aquarius, Trine. I am not my own. I'm, being used by Spirit, divinely guided, and divinely led. Yeah, so a part of my North Node, which is very important to know one's natal chart. But a part of my North Node is um that's why I'm coming from royalty. Yes, because that's that Leo South Node. You know, and where in which one is more about the ego and themselves. The Aquarius North Node, well, having Leo South Node, Leo North Node, that is. Okay, so my past life, I was, more about, the physical, the world, the ego, and self. In this lifetime, I renounce self, and I'm for, the whole tribe of, that, uh, world that I'm in, and now I'm on Earth, and the tribe is humanity, and it's not about no black race, white race, Chinese race. It's for everyone. The Aquarian is for everyone. Okay, it's the humanitarian, and therefore it's old money. We don't allow the ego to get caught up in in what we got to do. It's all about justice, the final judgment, past, liber, and frequency, the judge. And so, for us, truth is everything because we cannot be tainted or corrupted with money. That's why when people they come to me and they try to bribe me and try to use money to forsake my life purpose, I'm like, how? Why? The hell with you. Get away from me with that. Okay? My frequencies will not permit or allow me to be so self-centered or selfish or corrupt. It's quite as simple as that. So that video, that screenshot of that video that I was watching on YouTube, was a very profound video in in regards to domestic violence, domestic abuse. And I must say this, before saying anything else. Hold on. I was taking a nap. I have, really oily skin, which, has its good and its bad. Okay? Yes. All I gotta do is just, pat and wipe every now and then. But it's very good. Everything is, good and bad. No pain, no gain. Um, So, let me say this before I say what I was going to say first. A lot of you women are damaged, and you think that when a man abuses you, he loves you. No, no. That man is sick and damaged. Yes, he's suffering from some trauma that he needs to resolve, and you cannot aid him. You as the victim, nope. It's got to be someone outside of you or him to aid him in resolving that trauma. Okay? They don't know what love is. So stop being numbskulls and talking about, it's because they love you. You women out there who say stuff like that, you are, traumatized from some, experience as well, which, triggers you not knowing what love is. All right. That I said that. Let me move on to what, a focal point in all of this abuse. Okay? There's so many ailments and sicknesses and diseases, regardless of, the medicines, whether herbal or, scientific, whether natural or man-made. And it's all got to do with frequencies and energies. Men and women, and both teaching their children not to respect and value that Cancer frequency, which I've made mention in an earlier video. Queens don't, lead with their money or by their money. The Cancer frequency is the feminine energy, nurturing, okay? It's the healer of the zodiac, Pisces rising. So it synchronizes with Pisces ascendant. That's Cancer sun. Being passionate about nurturing, about the home, about healing, about the family. When you're passionate about nurturing people, you're innately a healer. And not just men, but women also do not respect women. And I made 2 videos, where in which I made mention that women, true women, or let me say queens, love other women. So the videos I titled Women Love Other Women. Alright? And you have a lot of women who co-sign domestic violence and domestic abuse. You have a lot of women who, rear their sons to not respect any other woman but they themselves. And maybe, their sisters. And it doesn't work like that, because I said justice is for all. And if it's not for all, it's not for you. It's not for one. It's got to be for one and all. Okay? Because the world is a cycle, and what goes around comes back around. So some of you abusers out there, sometimes you hear your own sisters or your own mothers or your own daughters become victims of domestic violence or, violence. It's because you, have violated some woman at some point in your life or your past life. You understand what I'm trying to say? Let's respect the Cancer frequency. You don't have to like the person to speak up for justice in regards to that person, because I get that a lot. I come across a lot of women who are jealous of me, envious. And they, not only do they co-sign, they influence and initiate their brothers, their sons, their male friends to abuse me. And they think I'm unaware of it. And that's why you hear me calling out a lot of them on my profile. Because even that girl from Aracabessa, Jody, her brother who I was, supposedly with, the mother Altia, they co-signed that shit. They're the ones who influenced them to do that because they're jealous. Now, when you think that you're doing things behind closed doors and the veils, and the curtains are drawn, nobody can see you. God sees. And that's why I see a lot of them, who claim to be religious. They only bear a form of godliness, but they deny the power of the Most High God. Because you're hiding from me, you're hiding from people around you. The witchcraft, the negative conversations and influences that you put in his mind. But God sees and he hears everything, all of that. But because you don't really believe in God, you take no, conscious, recognition of that. You don't believe in God. No, you don't. And that's why I say religion is different from spirituality. Religion is, man-made. It's a lot of facades and egos involved in that. There is no regard or, reverence for God. It's just facades and egos to, create illusions, smokes and mirrors for the general population to trick you into thinking that these people are good and, are trustworthy. When they're not. They're not trustworthy because they use them same religions to, spread their negative influences, yeah, and sit back and pretend as if they're all good. And that guy's mother in Mandeville, who was, jealous of me, she has this, she's twisted. Scorpio sun. Not saying all of you Scorpio sons are twisted, but she's sick. Because all the while this woman, once she, the first moment she got to know about me and to, especially since she met me, this woman has been competing with me in regards to her sons. I was not interested in the other brothers. I'm not a hoe. That she was even parading in front of the grown sons, half naked. Mind you, naked. Because there's not much difference in that. Like, she wants them to, like, who is sexier, me or, baby's girlfriend? Like, that's his nickname. Like, seriously, why is there a competition? Do you have sexual intercourse with your son? Because that's a sin according to the Most High. And just the thought of it is, very mentally disturbing. And so she influenced him to abuse me as well, and pretended that she didn't. My ex-husband, his sisters did the same. You see what I'm trying to show you guys right here? Plus, my so-called mother and so-called sisters, them too. Because when, it was discovered that he was abusing me, they laughed. It was funny to them. For whatever reason, I just cannot see. Because here I am, the hermit. I stay to myself. I trouble nobody. I'm in my own world. So, and then these people, they have all kind of fictional reasons as to why I deserve this, I deserve that. And that's what they say about other women who are, physically abused. There is always a reason, but there is never a reason. You are just jealous woman. Spiteful, cruel, and jealous woman. Because I would not wish that upon my enemy. You say I'm a bitch. Why am I a bitch? Because I won't sit and chat with you. I won't sit and chat people business with you. I won't sit and tell you my business. I won't get up and parade up in Mandeville town like I have nothing to do with my life. That's why I'm a bitch. No, honestly, people, that's pretty much all them people can say about me, because I never had a relationship with them. I just mind my own business. So I deserved, being, physically abused, because I won't sit and talk people's business with you. I won't gossip with you. I won't sit and tell you my business. I won't get up and parade all over, the place with you. I sit and I introspect. Huh? And I focus on my life, my dreams, goals, and aspirations. I do my business online, because I'd rather, you see why I'd rather do things online? Joshua and Asher. Joshua and Asher. Yeah. So pretty much that's why, them women they co-signing. It was so funny to them. Even to this day, it's pretty funny to them that their brother, or even them guys too, babies, brothers, because they couldn't get up in my drawers, up in my crotches, because I won't be a whore, so I should, get battered. All these filthy, ways and mentalities within the black race. It's just so sickening. Black people, they hate you for the weirdest reasons. For not wasting your life, for not gossiping with them, for not, telling them your business, for not, walking up and down like a careless, clean clothes mad person. For the weirdest reason. Because prior to saying all that I said about, them, bitches on my profile, I'm going to call them bitches. They're not women. Because like I said, women love other women. Prior to saying all of that, I never had a horrible thing to say about any of them. So, it made me, wonder, maybe these women are mentally deranged. Because how can you just get up and hate somebody? Because they won't allow you to jump on their bandwagon. Or they won't jump onto yours. How? Why? I cannot fathom that. And so a lot of the violence, towards women, in the world is initiated. It's being initiated by other women. Women who are related to these women, these victims, and women who are, related to the perpetrators, the villains, in other words. hmm And sometimes smaller percentages, males were were related to the perpetrators. But most of it, I'm telling you, because I'm telling you, all them relationships, all them physical abuses were initiated and influenced by women related to these men, their mothers, their sisters, jealous mothers, jealous sisters, and even so-called sisters of mine and mother of mine. You see why I sleep outside? Understand what I'm saying? Because how can I trust you and you have such cruel intentions towards me? I never did you anything. Now you all have reasons to hate me now that I'm exposing you on my social media. But prior to that, you had no reason to, not like me. They laughed. It was, I'm telling you, it was like the most, it was like the funniest thing. The humor that's within the black community is sick. Like, when I remember when I was younger, in basic school and primary school. Yeah, and kids would hurt themselves, all the other kids would laugh, like they would fall off a chair. And a lot of times, other kids would actually initiate that. They would, get seriously hurt while playing, other, all kinds of, you know, you know, afflictions and stuff. And whilst all the other kids would be there, ha ha ha, ha, it was so fun. I was like, how? How is, one hurting themselves, funny? And it is the same way it is now. These, those said children grew up to become adults, sick, perverted, and twisted adults who find pleasure and delight and humor in people's sorrow. That's very sadistic, a prime characteristic of that low vibrational Leo frequency. It's horrible. So love does not hurt. To all of you people out there, and who are in, abusive relationships or partnerships, free yourself. You see that pregnant woman who, initially finally got, killed, huh? Because she, kept going back to her abuser. And never take back an abuser. Any man who ever lay hands on you, you free yourself and rid yourself of him. There are too many men out there, and there are good men out there. However few there are, and when I say few, I mean not being weak as punk as men who, allow their mothers and their sisters or their brothers or your mothers, your mothers or sisters or any woman or anybody for that matter to manipulate them into doing something that's going to demonize their character. Because a lot of times, like I said, it's not, they don't just get up and do them stuff. They are influenced, but those are for weak men. Being influenced to do something that will demonize your character, you are a weak man. You're a punk. A sissy. Okay? It's not being a homosexual makes you a sissy. It's them characteristics. They're not being able to, make moves off your own, to make conscious decisions off your own. You allow people to decide and tell you which way to go. You're a sissy. That's what makes you a sissy and a punk. Okay? So love does not hurt. And Mel B, one of Spice Girls' very own. Yeah, she was, supposed, I heard, a victim of domestic violence and abuse. Okay, and so it was so wonderful that she allowed herself to have been used in this depiction. Yes, to enlighten you women out there. Too many of you, or too many of us, are being slaughtered and abused by these men. And, men who are being influenced by other women. So I want you women out there who have been doing stuff like, these, and who have done stuff like these, influencing your brothers or your sons or your cousins or your male friends or your supposed brother-in-law or son-in-law to do stuff like that. I want you to feel ashamed. It's time now for you to look into yourselves and introspect and feel Very, very ashamed. Because love does not hurt. And nobody deserves to be abused. Right? Better you know part in ways. One go left and one go right. One go north, one go south. But nobody deserves that. And a clean-hearted person, someone who has clean hands and a pure heart, don't wish them stuff upon people and don't delight in another's sorrow. What the Most High said, vengeance is his and he will repay. Namaste. And better believe he's going to repay. And a lot of you who co-sign to them stuff, it's going to ricochet and return upon you. 7 times 7 folds. And some of you like that reader, like I see, she posted, message, transmuted messages from the Most High. It's going to be 100 times 100 folds. Because what goes around comes back around. Namaste.